my name is Callie Hayes and I'm an occupational therapist at the University of Utah Burn Center. In this video I'm going to be sharing some quick tips and tricks for how to stretch a elbow or a shoulder after a burn injury. Your dressings can look a lot of different ways depending on the stage of your injury, but the principles of the stretching remain the same. Your therapist should be providing you with written instructions in what exercises you should be performing. General rule of thumb when it comes to stretching a burn is that it takes at least 20 to 30 seconds for skin to get an adequate stretch. So it's more important that you do a long stretch rather than a short stretch with a bunch of repetitions. It is also important to note that when it comes to stretching skin, that you need to be doing it multiple times a day, not just once or twice. I would say at a minimum 3 to 4 times a day, but you are highly encouraged to do more. And the more stretching that you do, the better outcome you will have in the long run. I'm going to start by showing you how to stretch an elbow. You can help your loved one stretch their elbow by laying or sitting. For purposes of this video, I do have our patient laying on this table and using a blanket to support the upper arm. I'm going to first work on how to stretch bending the elbow. Essentially, I'm going to hold on to the forearm and place a hand on the upper arm, and I'm going to slowly apply pressure to stretch the elbow towards your patient's face. When I get to that end range, then I will hold that stretch for 20 to 30 seconds before we release and come back out and go again. Stretching in the opposite direction entails completely straightening the arm. This can be an extremely difficult stretch for patients to maintain, and this one is really, really important to make sure that you can get your arm completely straight. Same principle, I'm going to use one hand on the forearm and one hand on the upper arm so that my patient doesn't compensate at the shoulder. What I do is I essentially hold the arm completely straight and hold that stretch again for 20 to 30 seconds. Like I said before, this stretch can be kind of hard for people to get. We're making this look a little easy. It might take a little while to get that elbow completely straight. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the shoulder here. Same concepts apply, that 20 to 30 seconds holding that stretch and doing it several times until things feel a little more loose. Again, you can do this while laying down or sitting up. In this video, we're going to do it laying down. How to support your loved one is by holding at the wrist and forearm and generally bringing that arm up until they feel an adequate stretch. When they feel that stretch, you will hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. You can hold it up to a minute, that's okay, and then bringing it back down. And then each time you do it, you want to progress to the point that they are reaching what we consider their normal range of motion. If your loved one was never able to get their arm all the way up, then you should not be expecting them to do that now. You go to what is considered their normal. For most people who have not had any other kind of injury, that's going to be straight up with your arm kind of next to your ear. But some people who have had shoulder injuries and things in the past may only ever be able to get their arm maybe up here. So my patient has got that full stretch here. You want to make sure that they are not compensating by turning or twisting their trunk or their hips, and that you are truly stretching at the shoulder. I'm moving the arm in this direction. Now I'm going to show you the other direction to stretch the shoulder. With their arm starting at their side, this time I'm going to go straight up this direction. It looks fairly similar to the previous one, but it is slightly different in terms of the rotation of the shoulder joint. You stretch it the same way as you did the previous. Again, holding 20 to 30 seconds. You can also work on having them stretch their elbow and shoulder this direction so that they can reach the top or back of their head, or helping them stretch in this direction that they are able to reach their trunk or their other side of their body. These are important directions also when it comes to shoulder motion. That is going to be it for the purposes of laying down. I will post another video of how to stretch the elbow and shoulder while you're sitting up.